YouTube? This is LevidtheRetroGamer here, and today I'm going to be talking about the 5 consoles that I think look the prettiest. Now, I saw another YouTuber do the same video on his favorite best-looking consoles, and that's Tyson Spot. And I'm going to leave a link to the video down below, and to his channel as well. Check out his channel, he's got a lot of cool stuff. He does some top 10s, some reviews, and a bunch of other cool stuff, so yeah, just give him a look. So the reason I chose these 5 is because they all have vastly different looks to them. And that was the way it was with most consoles back in the day. They all had different looks, different functionalities, and they were just very unique in their own ways. Unlike nowadays where it's just a black box with USB ports and wireless controllers. But anyway, I'm going to show you the 5 that I've chosen, and let's get started. So for my number 5 pick, I have chosen the Sega Saturn Model 2. However, it really doesn't matter which model it is because I like both models the same. The only difference between this one and the Model 1 is there's a glossy finish here, and the buttons are oval rather than round. I like the window on the disc tray here. It's actually really neat. I've never seen another console do that other than, well, the Sega CD, but other, like, main consoles, not add-ons. I like how big it is. It actually feels really expensive. The little lines up here make it look futuristic and stuff. Really neat. I don't like, however, the controller ports. I think they should have stuck with the standard controller ports like they had on the Genesis and the Master System. 'Cause, I mean, they even work universal with like Atari 2600 controllers and even ColecoVision controllers, believe it or not. But yeah, it would have been nice to had that feature to change out controllers and try different things. But anyways, let's move on. So my number 4 pick is going to have to be the Super Nintendo. My slightly yellowed Super Nintendo. It wasn't like that when I got it. I only got it a couple years ago. And I don't see why it yellowed because it's always behind the closet doors there. But I really like these this rigidness down here. Goes all around the console like that. It just kind of looks like teeth. I don't know. It's something stupid. But I also like the power switches rather than buttons. I think that would last longer than actual like buttons. However, this reset one's got a spring, and that might get overused a little bit and kind of wear on the spring. But the eject button is actually really cool. I don't know why people never used this, because it was actually a really good idea. It prolonged the life of the cartridges. However, Nintendo saw that people weren't using it, and they changed out their cartridge format up here. Like, rather than having this locking mechanism on the tip of the cartridge, they go over here and they rip that out completely and just... because they're like, oh, people are just ripping them out anyway, might as well forget it. But yeah, I really like this design. However, I wish they had gone with the Super Famicom like they did in Japan. That would have looked a lot nicer. But the controllers are really cool. Moving on to that. This is one of my favorite controller designs because it's very comfortable in the hand. The buttons feel really expensive, really nice. They're not clicky. I like the rubberiness of the select and start button. Yeah, great controller, great system. Let's move on to the next one. So before I get to my 3rd pick, I just want to say I didn't really care much for its original model. It looked okay, but it wasn't that great. The Slim improved on it a little bit, but its 3rd version was just fantastic. And that's the PS2 Slim 9000 series. These small differences just make the world of difference visually. I mean, this 3rd ridge that they took out of here just makes it look a whole lot cooler. I don't know why, but it just does to me. They moved the vents from the front to the side, kind of hiding it, and that just improved its visual features a lot. I like the top shininess here. I love the glossy finish, rather than just the strip. However, it is a fingerprint magnet. That's one thing I really don't care for. Changing the plug in the back was a great idea, that they switched to just the standard 2-prong, rather than its proprietary plug format. I didn't really care for that much. Controller-wise, I like the PS2 controllers, but I prefer the wireless Logitechs. They're very comfortable, very responsive, hardly any lag. They could have done with a better D-pad, but the analog sticks are just great and very responsive. But let's go to the next console. Now, you're going to look at my number 2 pick like, what the hell is that? But I just customized it a little bit and just did a paint job. And that's my Model 2 Sega Genesis. I turned it into a Sonic Genesis, basically. I really like the looks of this. It looks like a spaceship. If you look at it from the side, the curvatures and everything just looks really cool. And the exhaust port, I call it, in the back, it's just really fun, really neat looking. I like the curvatures of it a lot. It just looks really neat. The Sega logo, I wish was an eject button. That would have been a great feature. Because, I mean, come on, guys. Ripping the Genesis cartridges out of this, I always feel like I'm going to rip out the board from the actual plastic. They just should have done something with that. But yeah, it's a great looking console, and the controllers, I really don't care much for, because they kind of feel really cheap. I don't have the original 3-button, because I just really don't care for it. This is a little better, but just the buttons are clicky and very cheap, and the D-pad just sucks. I like the turbo feature, though. That's really cool. So, let's get to my final pick. So, for my number 1 pick, it's going to have to be the Sega Dreamcast. Now, I don't care if it's black or white. I just prefer this luscious-looking black. It just looks so beautiful. Except for Sega Sports. I could care less for that. But hey, I can't really get it in black unless it has that. Unless I custom paint it, but I'm too lazy to do that. It looks like the Model 2 Genesis slightly with its curvatures this way. I really love that design. That's what made this my number 1. And the fact that it's the fucking Dreamcast. It's beautiful, and the games are just amazing. I like the indentations here. What would have been really cool is if they were lights. You know, like just put like some blue lighting in there or some orange lighting. The light on the front, though, I like how big it is. It's very broad, it's very bright, but that should have been blue. Like the, you know, the European swirl was actually blue. That would have been really cool if they just made it all blue, because I just like blue better. I don't know. I'm just rambling now. However, the controller ports. I like that they put 4 controller ports on this. There weren't many games that utilized it, but Power Stone 2 was an absolutely amazing game. And I can't give it more props than that. I really like the swirl. That was one thing that caught my eye with this console, was the orange swirl when I was younger. The controllers and the memory units. Let's get to the memory unit first. I've chosen green because that's my all-time favorite color. The memory unit was a very good idea. They have like little mini games on there depending on your save states. And the controller is very comfortable. I like the analog stick a lot for this. And another, again with the D-pad, it's very sharp. I can't stand these D-pads sometimes. The buttons are nice, very responsive, not clicky at all. But yeah, that is my number 1 pick. I love the Dreamcast. And let's get back to me and we'll close out this video. Well, that's it for this video, guys. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, if you want to see any different types of reviews or top 10s from me, please leave it in the comments below. I'd love to know what my viewers would like to see from me. That'd be really great. Anyways, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you at a later date.